Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jessa Jeremiah, and we have a great show for you today talking about some very important things. We're going to talk about why after-school programs may lose funding. That'll be later. And there's an important event coming up that is all for charity, that is based on music. And first, we're talking about another very important organization called REACHAchild that helps first responders comfort children in crisis. And joining me, I have Carole and Eric who join us from REACHAchild. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good morning.
Yeah, glad to have you. Now, tell us kind of more specifically what REACHAchild is all about.
We're basically an organization that came together around the thought of comforting a child in crisis, and the first people to get to that child are always first responders, police, fire, EMT. And our founder thought he was also a children's author, and he thought, what could we do? And he came up with the idea of putting some books in a bag and giving them to the officers and having the officers have the bag in their squads or their vehicles. And when they encounter the child, to offer the child a book and redirect the child's attention away from the chaos around them to the book in their hand. And it's made a huge difference for the children and actually for the officers too.
Yeah, absolutely. This is such an incredible idea, and I was chatting with you prior to starting and had looked at the website a little bit and learned more, and what an incredible thing and how impactful for the children. What have the first responders had to say about some of the outcomes of doing this?
The first responder, all the stories we get, and we get stories from the field from them all the time telling us about how wonderful it is when they encounter this child who's crying and they say, would you like a book? And the child says, yes. Now all of a sudden, here's a person who's a stranger, they become a friend. And the officers usually, sit with the child and look at the book, and the child's behavior immediately goes from one of terror to one of comfort. And the children get to keep the book. So that's another thing that the officers like. They give them this little gift. We also have bags for the children in the officer bag as well. And we did that because the officers were actually giving away their bags. And they said, we sort of need something. And so the officers have bags, so they'll give the child the book and the bag. Right. And the children are always so surprised when the officer says, keep the book and here's a bag too.
Here's a bag. What a wonderful way to be prepared for something that is a negative in a whole nother way. And I'm sure these officers and first responders are prepared for the emergency at hand, but now they also get to be prepared for caring for these children who are scared and in the middle of a crisis.
The other thing that's wonderful is the officers themselves. Second impact is on them. They feel better about their jobs. They feel better about what they do. And, face it, these gentlemen and ladies face trauma all the time, and for them to have this to help them out and feel good about their job, that's another wonderful thing.
It's outstanding. It really is outstanding, incredible. For folks at home who are watching, individuals, maybe business owners, is there a way that they can get involved? And I'm assuming you need some help with these ideas.
Yes. Right? We are very lucky. American Girl offers us warehouse space. So we have this space in their warehouse where there are tons of books. And so we always need help with people to sort the books, put labels on the books, and as we're getting bags out, to stuff the bags with books and the little backpacks. And we can have, if you have, in your company, if you have a group, an employee group that would like to come out, we'll arrange for you to come out and your group, and you can do that. We just had a group out a couple weeks ago, and they had a great time helping with the books. And it's interesting because then they see books. I remember this book when I was 4 years old. So
comforting.
Yeah,
familiar.
So they enjoy that as well. I'm going to shoot it over to Eric here to talk about other ways businesses can get involved in individuals.
Yeah, and since our program, we don't have first responder departments pay for this program to have. However, we do rely on monetary donations from businesses and individuals. And so one of the ways that individuals can do this is we have a program called Sponsor a First Responder, because we feel everybody knows a firefighter, a police officer, etc. And so they can actually get our program into maybe their favorite first responders' hands, or even for businesses, there is the opportunity if like, hey, we want to sponsor a specific department to make sure every vehicle in a department has this program in their vehicle, right. They have the ability to do that as well.
Wow, this is an outstanding thing. Folks, get involved in this if you can. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. We very greatly appreciate it. And check out their website if you are interested in helping. Also, we've got another organization coming up right after the break looking to enhance the film industry. That's next on Talk of the Town.